right, so if you'll go ahead and start copying down these vocab words, I'm going to talk to you about them while you're writing them. We have mean up there. We did do it yesterday. It's not going to hurt you to write it again. The mean, again, is the sum of a set of numbers divided by the pieces of data. So you're dividing by the number of numbers. Now, not right this second, but when we get started in a minute, and I will take a picture and send to you tonight, there's a poem, if you look over there next to, on the board, okay? It is a nursery rhyme, all right? I've changed the words, or I didn't, someone else did, change the words to help you remember not only the definitions of these words, but how to find all of these measurements, okay? We're going to still talk about 3 measurements of central tendencies. Remember that talks about how the data falls around the middle. So all 3 of these deal with the central part of your data. We're also going to throw range in there. Range does not talk about the center of your data. It talks about how it varies, but it's easy to lump these together. I will offer bonus points if you can recite that poem to me by Thursday from memory, not hesitating, not standing there going, oh, wait, I think I know this word, I think I know this word. No, I want you to, spout it off at me, okay? So, not right now, not later, by Thursday. Okay? So, not today, not this afternoon, but by Thursday, if you can do it. I haven't decided quite how many bonus points, but I will give you a chance to copy that down or take a picture in a little bit if you want to, okay? Yes. All right, median. That is our next vocabulary word. When you're driving down the interstate and you see the concrete divider in the middle, sometimes it's a big grassy area, that is called the median. Why do we call it the median? It's the middle. Okay, so in math, the median means the same thing. The median is the middle number in an ordered set of data, meaning we are going to be listing our data in order from least to greatest, then finding the middle number. And I will show you when we have an even number set of data, what we're going to do, because we will actually split in the middle of 2 numbers. Okay, and we'll show you that in a minute. The mean is your mathematical center. It's the middle value. The median is the physical middle number. It is literally the number that is in the middle. Okay? Mode, I like to remember the first 2 letters are MO, which would stand for most often. So the mode is the number or numbers that you see most often. What do you call something you ride that has 2 wheels? Bicycle. Okay. What do you call something you ride that has 3 wheels? Tricycle. So the cool thing is, yes, those prefixes of bi and tri, you can have 2 modes, and then we call it bimodal. You can have 3 modes, and we call it trimodal. You don't have to know those. I just thought I'd, let you know. Those prefixes are used in all sorts of stuff. So again, the mode is the number or numbers you see most often. And then the range, I always think of a driving range with golf. How many of you anybody ever been to a driving range? Okay. So when you hit the golf ball, what are you measuring? The distance, right? How far you hit the ball. So when we're talking about the range of a set of data, we're looking for the difference or distance between the highest and lowest value. How do we find the difference? Subtract. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to subtract the highest number from the lowest number. I'm sorry, I said that backwards. Subtract the lowest number from the highest number. Okay, and that would give you your range. So let's say we had a test and someone made 100 and I told you, guys, you did a great job. Our range was only 15. What would that mean our lowest score would be?
Negative 85.
85. So your range will be the difference between your highest number and your lowest number. Okay? All right. If you didn't finish getting these copied down, I'll come back to them in a minute, but I want us to go ahead and play with some and see how we solve some problems, okay? All right. Look at the first one. We're going to be finding the mean, median, mode, and range. I am going to show you how I want you to set these problems up, because when we're dealing with statistics, the more organized you are, the better off you're going to be. Number 1 rule, okay? The first thing you have to do, number 1, is order. From least to greatest. So order your numbers. If you don't, there's only maybe 2 answers you could possibly get correct. The rest will be wrong. Okay? I know, right?
Wait, what if we got 2 of the same numbers?
We're going to get to that right now. So, least to greatest. Yes, order from least to greatest. So what's our smallest value? 4. Then we have 17, 19, 20, and 20. If it is listed more than once, you list it more than once. Okay? Just like your class average would be affected if you had more people make 100, you want to count every 100. So you've got to count every single number. Alright? The next thing I want you to do is go ahead and make a list. If you write 4 numbers for your answers, I don't know what they are. You've got to label them. So we're going to make a little chart that says mean, median, mode, and range. Okay? So all of your numbers will need to be organized like this so you can tell which answer goes with which. Alright. How do we find the mean again?
You add all the numbers and divide it by how many numbers there are.
Absolutely. So we're going to add all these together. 4 plus 17 plus 19 plus 20 plus 20.
80.
Okay? So then we've got 80. What are we going to divide by?
5.
5, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers. 16 is our mean. Now, remember, we're going to check to make sure this is a reasonable answer. Is it less than 20?
Yes.
Is it greater than 4?
Yes.
Is it kind of in the middle somewhere?
Yes.
Yeah. It's very reasonable. Okay? Now, the next thing we have is our median. Again, we're looking for the physical number that is in the middle. So if I match these off, those two go together, those two go together. 19 is our median. I've got 2 on this side, 2 on this side. So you want literally the middle number.
What's going to happen if you have an even?
We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that. That's number 3. Hold tight. I will show you. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so mode, again, is the number you're going to see the most. So what would that be? 20. And literally it's because we see 20 listed twice. Now, what if I had 19 listed twice?
Then you would have 20 and 19.
I would have 20 and 19. What if 20 was just listed once?
Then you have 9.
Nope. Then I would have no mode. Because there's not 1 or 2 listed more than any others. Okay? So if they're all listed once, you just simply write no mode. And then our range, the difference between 20 and 4.
16.
There you go. Okay, so you have now gone through and found your measures of central tendency and your range.
Whoa.
Alright? Let's try the next one together. Whenever you have a graph like this, I find it much easier if you go ahead and identify your values before you even try to list them. So how many people liked comedies?
4.
What about action?
5.
Romance? Drama?
1.
And sci-fi. Okay, so at this point, I have my values. Now I can go ahead and list them in order. So we've got 1, 4, 4, 5, and 6. And again, the next thing you want to do is list mean, median, mode, and range. Okay? Now, the great thing about that little rhyme over there, if you look at it, we're talking about the mean. It says you add then divide for the mean. Well, that just told me how I find the mean. So I'm going to add all these together. What do we get?
20.
And then divide by 5, because there's 5 numbers, so our mean is 4. All right, then it tells me the median is the middle. So what's my middle number? 4. There we go. Okay, do we have a mode?
It's 4.
It's 4. And what about our range?
5.
There we go.
Wait.
Let's look. Mean, I add and divide. Median is the middle number. I've got 2 on each side. Mode, we see the most. 4 is listed more than anything. And range is the difference between my highest and my lowest.
The mode I see it.
Most often. Yep. Alright, now this is what we're going to talk about when we have an even number or even set of numbers, okay? So again, we want to list them in order. Whenever you have a longer list of numbers, I try to go through and mark them out as I'm rewriting them. Because guys, if you don't get this list right, your median's going to be off, your mode could be off, your range could be off. And if you don't add all of them, your mean could be off. So if you don't write the list correctly, then every single one of your answers could be wrong. Okay? Just don't cross them out if you're doing it from your textbook. So we've got 3, then we've got 4, 4, and 4. And we've got 5, 6, 6, and 8. The other thing I want to do is go back and say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to double check and make sure I have the right number of numbers. I did this earlier and I had left off one of the 6's, so all of my answers would have been wrong.
When you're doing the median for that one, what if there is...
That's what we're going to talk about. Okay, so here we go. We're going to start with our mean, median. All right, somebody just said 40. Can 40 be our mean?
No, it's not.
40 cannot because it's higher than 8. 8 is my largest value. So 40 divided by 8 gives us 5. Okay, here's the tricky part. Everybody pay attention because you're going to get several of these on your homework. When you have an even set of numbers and you're looking for the median, you're still going to the middle, okay? So what is the middle of 8 numbers? 4 and 4, right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is my middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. At this point, okay, you're going to find the mean of these two numbers. It's going to be halfway in between 4 and 5, which we immediately probably know, 4.5. But I want you to get in the habit, you're going to add them together, divide by 2. 4 plus 5 is 9. Divided by 2, it would give us 4.5. But they will not always be one number apart. What if I had 4 and 7? Add them together, divide by 2. So what you're doing is you're finding the mean of those two numbers. So your median would fall in between those two numbers. Okay? What if I had 4 and 4? What's my mean of 4 and 4? 4. Okay? So if the numbers are the same, you don't have to do anything. You know it's going to be one of those numbers. Because 4 plus 4 is 8, divided by 2 is 4. If they're one number apart, you know it's going to be halfway in between those two numbers. Okay? What's our mode? 4. Why is it not 6?
Because you see 4 3 times and 6 2.
Absolutely. 4 is listed 3 times, 6 is only listed 2. If 4 was only listed twice, then we could say 4 and 6, but 4 is listed more. What about our range? 5. Absolutely. Okay, so, again, median, middle number, your mean, we add and divide. Mode is the one we see the most, and your range is the distance between. Yes?
When you're doing the range and they're organized the way that they were organized up top, do you have to organize them that way to get the range?
Right, because if I looked at this, sorry guys, I had someone ask a great question and you can't hear. If I leave them like this, I may not see that 3. Okay, I've got to have them listed in order to find my range, because my range is going to be the difference between my highest value and my lowest value. So yeah, go ahead, get in the habit. First thing you should do is list them in order from least to greatest, okay? All right, your homework is at the bottom, 652, 1 through 12.